Florida Governor Ron DeSantis calling out the media over their coverage of COVID-19 in his state.
A lot of people in your profession who waxed poetically for weeks and weeks about how Florida was going to be just like New York. Not only do we have a lower death rate, well, we have way lower deaths generally, we have a lower death rate than the Acela Corridor. We've succeeded, and I think that people just don't want to recognize it because it challenges their narrative, it challenges their assumption, so they got to try to find a boogeyman.
And you know, you can see his frustration. He's not trying to hide it. Lara Logan is here. She has got that great Fox Nation series, and she has no agenda. Not saying she has nothing to do. She has no agenda. Means she doesn't have any political bias. Lara, how are you? Okay, we'll work on that. Now let's listen to what the media was saying that got Ron DeSantis so incensed.
Those numbers are going to go radically up in the coming days and weeks because you have this governor, Ron DeSantis, this Trump mini-me.
Why did it take so long for the governor? I mean, because the science has been clear on this now for a while.
Is the governor's botched response to this outbreak?
Is he going to be forced to own whatever the consequences are in the Sunshine State?
So this is just an example of what to you?
Well, to me, Brian, I don't look at this in isolation. I look at it in the full context of the media's coverage generally of this administration and this president. And I tell you what I see that is most important and most significant to me. There's been a lot of discussion on television about the politicization of the pandemic and a lot of blame cast, right, on Trump and our GOP for doing that. But what people are ignoring is something really critical that was reported in the Washington Post on the 1st of May. There's this article, and here it is. I have it here, which is not something I often do, but this is so significant to me that I wanted to make sure I had it printed out. The headline is about technology that was once used to combat ISIS propaganda is being employed by a Democratic Political Action Committee, a super PAC, basically, to counteract Trump's messaging on the coronavirus and his handling of the coronavirus. And this super PAC has enlisted the assistance of General Stanley McChrystal, who many of your viewers will recognize his name. And he has openly stated in this article, it's a whole piece about it, the Washington Post has no problem with this, that they're taking a weapon of war that was designed to counter ISIS and Al-Qaeda, in other words, U.S. enemies, and they're using it against the U.S., against American citizens in this country. And they say in their own words, it's to combat online efforts to promote President Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. So if you've got a Republican governor in Florida who's succeeding, that's not a message they want to hear. You want to know how they'll combat it? Well, I'll tell you what. They're going to use artificial intelligence and network analysis to map a discussion of the president's claims on social media and then seek to intervene by identifying the most popular counter-narratives and boosting them through a network of more than 3.4 million social influencers across the country. And some of those people will be paid by them. So I think what people may not understand about this is you're taking a weapon of war that the United States developed to use against its foreign enemies, and a former U.S. general is using that technology and those tactics with a political action committee, and they're using it against to counter Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. That is deeply political. And it's also, you can speak to many people in the intelligence community who will tell you that it's also illegal, never mind unethical. And that's where I think that's where the heart of the media issue lies over the virus.
Absolutely. And no one talks about Governor Cuomo not getting prepared for the virus. No one talks about Anthony Fauci said there's nothing to fear. They just play back what they say Donald Trump was underreacting. But Lara, I want to get to you.